But Judge Boasberg told him that if you've got the means to unlawfully deport someone, you find the means to bring them back.
The Democrats' latest clown show is their idiotic crocodile tear sob story about the Maryland father, trademark, all rights reserved, a saint along the lines of George Floyd, except for the fact that he's actually an MS-13 gangbanger. This isn't just hypocrisy, my friends. It's a psyop to prop up murderers while the left spits on actual Americans. Buckle up, amigos, because we're exposing their lies, mocking their tears, and showing why this should be a losing albatross around their neck come the midterms. Let's start out with the current favorite Democrat buzzword, due process. They're whining that Kilmar, Armando Abrego Garcia, an illegal alien from El Salvador, that nobody disputes, other than those who are trying to frame him as being home here in America.
Hand over and release an innocent man and let him come home to his family.
Didn't get his day in court before being deported, they claim. Ha ha! Newsflash, folks. He's not a citizen. The Constitution doesn't hand out VIP passes to people who sneak across the border. The Supreme Court has been clear. Illegal aliens get limited procedural protections, not a full-blown trial like you or me who are citizens of the United States. Yet, here is Senator Chris Van Hollen jet-setting to El Salvador, crying about this guy's rights.
I'm vouching for the man's rights, his constitutional rights to due process.
While American citizens wait years for justice. More on that in a second. Does this illegal alien deserve due process? Legally, they get a hearing for deportation. And Abrego Garcia had his in 2019 when a judge granted him withholding of removal. But when ICE nabbed him in March of 2025, they shipped him out. And the Democrats scream injustice, administrative error. But let's be real. This guy's been on borrowed time since he crossed the border in 2011. The left is behaving as though he is entitled to a Manhattan penthouse, of course, at your taxpayer expense, while he waits for his Supreme Court appeal. Next up, the left is painting Abrego Garcia as Father of the Year, a devoted dad ripped from his family. MSNBC, NPR, and the whole Soros-funded media machine turned out cheerjerkos about this Maryland father.
Maryland father with protected legal status.
A Maryland father with protected status.
A Maryland father with protected legal status.
A Maryland father with protected legal status.
But hold the tissues. Here's the truth that they don't want you to hear. This guy is an MS-13 gangbanger, and the evidence is tattooed on his knuckles. President Trump dropped this bombshell on X, showing Abrego Garcia's MS-13 ink. And 2 judges in the past who reviewed his case have confirmed his gang ties. In 2019, Prince George's County, a very liberal county, by the way, the police there flagged him as MS-13 based on a confidential informant and his gang-style Chicago Bulls gear. Oh, and get this, in 2022, Tennessee Highway Patrol stopped him for suspected human trafficking and called the FBI. Father of the Year? More like a thug with a rap sheet longer than a CVS receipt. Yet, when Donald Trump tries to lay this out in a press conference, MSNBC cuts away faster than you can say fake news.
In 2019, Garcia was issued a deportation order. 2 separate judges affirmed Garcia was a member of MS-13, which is a gang that may be even worse.
We've been watching President Donald Trump there swearing in the new administrator of the CMS, the Centers for...
They couldn't handle the truth exposing their precious victim.
You can't handle the truth.
They need to keep their users in line, and anything that would contradict the narrative that they're trying to instill in their brain cannot get out there into that mindless zombies that they have. And don't fall for the "he's got kids" story. His wife, Jennifer Vasquez Sura, cries at press conferences because it helps with the GoFundMe numbers directed towards her. They soar. And where is the accountability? MS-13 is known for murders, rapes, and child sacrifice. Yet Democrats want this guy back in Maryland. So what? So that he can coach your son's Little League team? This whole Maryland father saga is a straight up psyop, folks. The Democrats are running a playbook. Take a criminal, slap a halo on him, a la George Floyd, and scream injustice to distract from their failures. It's the George Floyd playbook on steroids. Turn a thug into a martyr while cities burn and families grieve. Why? Because the left loves chaos. They thrive on it. This is why they're out defending MS-13, raising millions for murderers like Luigi Mangione and waving Hamas flags at protest. Alberto Garcia is their latest poster child. They're not just fighting for his return. They're flying senators at your expense, of course, not his own, to El Salvador and tying up the Supreme Court to save a guy with MS-13 Inc. who came into the country illegally. Meanwhile, another MS-13 gangbanger kills a mom of 5 in Maryland, and the left is, of course, crickets. It's a deliberate scam to paint Trump as a monster while they coddle gangsters. But with your help spreading sane videos like this one, please share the video and give it a like, a thumb up. Please do that right now. The left's lives and their narrative will collapse, God willing. This isn't compassion. It's a war on sanity. Now let's talk about real due process that was due, or lack thereof. While Democrats cry rivers for an MS-13 thug, look at how they treat January 6 defendants, patriots who walked into the Capitol, many without committing a single violent act, some hours after the event took place. Over 1,400 charged, hundreds locked up for years, some in solitary. And for what? Trespassing and waving flags, for being enemies of the Uniparty. In their minds, the DOJ weaponized vague laws like obstructing an official proceeding in order to crush them. No red carpet process due here, just gulags for grandmas. Not to mention the fact that some January 6 defendants had to wait 2 years for merely a trial. Where is the left screaming about due process and right to a speedy trial for their very own American citizens? They're not. It doesn't go with their narrative. And then there's Donald Trump himself, hounded by the left's lawfare. Take, for example, the E. Jean Carroll case. New York Democrats passed the Adult Survivors Act in 2022, a tailor-made law to let E. Jean Carroll sue Trump for a supposed 1990s assault with zero evidence. 2 juries slapped him with an $88.3 million charge in damages for defamation and sexual abuse, despite Carroll's story being shakier than a Jenga tower.
Most people think of rape as it is a violent assault. It is not.
I think most people think of rape as being sexy.
Let's take a short break.
Think of the fantasies.
We're just going to take a quick break. If you can stick around, we'll talk more on the other side.
You're fascinating to talk to.
Trump's team argued evidence was mishandled, but the courts laughed it off. And now compare that to their hero, Alberto Garcia, who gets senators and Supreme Court hearings for his rights. The left invents laws to crucify anyone departing from their ideology without mercy, but rolls out the welcome mat for an illegal alien with MS-13 tattoos. I don't want to live with these people because it's not just hypocrisy, it's a rigged system that they are creating intentionally where gangbangers get abrazos, hugs, and patriots get handcuffs. This Maryland father's psyop is a lead balloon, folks. And hopefully, God willing, it's sinking the Democrats faster than the Titanic. They're tying themselves up to MS-13. I can't wait for Democrats to say, we're all MS-13. A gang that butchers kids and traffics humans, while Americans are fed up with crime. A 2025 poll shows 60% of voters want tougher immigration enforcement. Democrats are on the wrong side of history. Every time they defend a thug like Abrego Garcia, they lose another voter who's sick of seeing their neighborhoods turned into a war zone. That's why Democrats virtue signaled from behind their gated communities' walls. Look at their track record. They've raised $900,000 and counting for cold-blooded killer Luigi Mangione, who in broad daylight gunned down from behind the CEO of United Healthcare, who worked his way up from a working-class Nebraska background. Luigi Mangione came from a centimillionaire family, but he's the hero of the left. A cool $500,000 for Carmelo Anthony, a teen who stabbed a high school star in the chest because it's black on white crime, and the left sees the blacks as oppressed and aggrieved. Thus, they can do no wrong, including cold-blooded murder. Now they've got their panties in a bunch for an MS-13 goon, while Maryland buries victims of actual gang violence. This albatross is dragging them down in 2026 midterms and beyond. They're not just losing elections, they're losing the soul of the country to their cult chaos. This, my friends, is a war on truth, on safety, on America itself. The Democrats' Maryland father scam proves they'd rather hug MS-13 than to protect your kids. So please share this video, blast it out on X, send it to your brainwashed cousin who still somehow watches MSNBC. Call out the left's love for murderers and their hatred for builders like Donald Trump and Elon Musk. And men, my amigos, step up. The left demands a gangbanger get more due process than a January 6th American citizen. This means that it's time to fight back. Subscribe, hit the bell, and join the battle to build a country that locks up thugs, not grandmas. We're the last line of defense against the left's hordes of chaos. Let's roll, people.